Breaking news now on KREM 2 News at noon. Police announce an arrest in connection to the killing of the United Healthcare CEO. And investigators say it was a McDonald's employee who helped break the case. Welcome to KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Tim Pham in for Laura today. In the last hour, New York police shared new details about a person of interest in the shooting death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside of a New York hotel. Police say 26-year-old Luigi Mangione was arrested today in Altoona, Pennsylvania, after a McDonald's employee recognized him from surveillance photos from the shooting.
A McDonald's employee did something we ask every American to do. If you see something, say something, but most importantly, do something. And they did. And because of that, we believe we have a strong person of interest to deal with this case.
Mangione is currently being held on firearms charges. Law enforcement says a gun, mask, and fake identification found on him were consistent with the items they believe were used by Thompson's killer. They also found handwritten documents that they believe, quote, speak to his motivation and mindset. We'll continue to follow the breaking details in this story. We'll have updates throughout the afternoon on KREM.com and an update on KREM 2 News at 4. Let's turn now to the weather. It looks like another foggy and cloudy week around the inland northwest. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick in the Outdoor Weather Center for us. Thomas?
Yeah, good afternoon, Tim. And I'll tell you what, it is just as cloudy as it was this morning on Up with KREM. It is just as cold as it was from this morning. In fact, the low temperature in Spokane was 28 degrees. The current temperature is 29 degrees. We've only moved 1 degree since this morning, and I think we're hard-pressed to even move 1 more degree upwards. This cloud cover is so thick and so persistent that we're not going to get any heat from the sun. Now, it has lifted a couple 100, 200 feet in the air, making it so that it's not so foggy outside. Could be a very different story between Moses Lake and the Tri-Cities area, where there still is some low visibility in that region, but otherwise it doesn't look like it's foggy per se at the lower elevations in most of eastern Washington. But we just have this stagnant weather pattern overhead, meaning that all of this cloud cover is compressed towards the ground, and because of the mountains on all sides, it can't go anywhere. So we just stay cloudy for the rest of the day. Again, we might get up to like 32, 33 degrees, but even this I think is optimistic. And here's the thing, this is also another consistent weather pattern. So coming up, I'm going to show you how many days of this cloudy and foggy weather we'll have before our next chance for any kind of precipitation, of which is likely going to be snow later on in the week. So that's coming up.
We're working to get more information after a deadly crash in Ritzville this weekend. 1 person died in the crash and 6 kids were hurt. It happened Saturday on the I-90 Highway 395 interchange. Washington State Patrol said the car was going too fast for conditions when it crashed. 9 people were in the car. Troopers say only 1 person was wearing a seatbelt. The driver died in the crash. The 8 surviving passengers, which included at least 6 kids, were taken to the hospital. That crash was one of many over the past week where slick roads were a factor. WashDOT and the Washington State Patrol are advising drivers to slow down for the conditions.
When we have conditions such as freezing rain, even in dry pavement, you still can't go 60, 70 miles an hour the speed limit. You have to slow down. You have to drive for conditions.
That bridge itself might be a little slick because there's nothing underneath of it to insulate the roadway.
Spokane police are also warning drivers to take extra precautions this winter, asking drivers to reduce their speed, increase their following distance, and get their brakes and tires checked before driving. Happening today, the Spokane City Council is expected to decide on the immediate future of the community-oriented policing services, also known as COPS. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones explains the funding disagreement between some council members.
Yeah, well, last Friday, a press conference was held in support of that organization, COPS, and actually it was led by 2 council members who were urging Spokane residents to reach out to fellow council members and express their gratitude and support for the organization COPS. In Mayor Lisa Brown's current budget, COPS wouldn't be guaranteed the annual $450,000 that's always been a given. Instead, they would have to bid for it among other organizations. In a written statement, Mayor Brown asked for transparency on how COPS is using taxpayer money, saying, quote, accountability and transparency around the use of taxpayer funds have been at the forefront of my decision making throughout the past year, especially in light of the significant budget deficit I inherited. Council members Jonathan Bingle and Michael Cathcart expressed doubt that other council members would support funding cops in the short term.
The cost of losing Spokane cops would far outweigh the modest funding it requires. It's the cost of losing the trust, the relationships, and the sense of community that this organization fosters.
So council is expected to vote tonight on a 3-month contract extension for the organization's contract for no more than $200,000. Council President Betsy Wilkerson was also in attendance to this press conference on Friday. She expressed support for keeping the community policing group around, but says that if COPS is to continue, there needs to be a clear path moving forward. We will have a crew covering tonight's council meeting, and if any new updates or information come from that expected vote, we'll be sure to keep you updated across all KREM 2 platforms. But for now, reporting here in downtown Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
KREM Cares invites everyone to help support our local animal shelter and local pets this holiday season. Right now, KREM Cares is hosting the Stock the Shelves campaign to raise money and pet food for Spokanimal. Spokanimal serves dozens of families each day, providing them with pet food and supplies. You can support the shelter by dropping off dog or cat food during business hours. And then on December 12th, we're hosting a pet food drive at local PetSmarts locations, including the South Hill, North Spokane, and Spokane Valley locations. KREM 2 will pick up all of the food from the local stores and take it to the shelter to help serve families this holiday season.